So, another of my mom talk in the middle of the night from my bathroom, which I think you recognize by now. um, and I'm as tired as I look as always. It's been a long week and a lot of issues with Ro, with her stomach and so on. But I talked to a friend earlier today about this about empathy and sympathy, and it's many people don't really know the difference between empathy and sympathy, and to me that is kind of odd that you don't really know the difference, but maybe you don't if you haven't really thought about it, or yeah, I don't know. But most people, I think, are good at sympathy, but not as good as at empathy. And I'm the other way around, which is kind of odd to many. I'm very empathic. I'm very easy to feel empathy with people, but it's worse with the sympathy part. And you can say the difference between, or we usually say the difference between empathy and sympathy is that sympathy is when you feel like somebody, and when you empathy is when you feel with somebody. And that sounds so easy, but it isn't really that easy. You can say that sympathy is when you have a friend who's going for a rough time. Sympathy is when you also feel down and say, yeah, it really sucks, so that's really bad, which most people are capable of doing. Empathy is when you, instead of doing that, see that, okay, he or she is feeling bad, he or she is feeling this way because of this, and therefore we can do something about it. Which is, you can say that sympathy is what makes you feel good in the moment. Empathy is what makes you feel better in the long run. You can say it's like if you see somebody putting their hands in boiling water, somebody feeling sympathy starts to scream and cry and feel really bad for a person who put their hand in water. Somebody who's feel empathy understands that, oh, this must hurt, and removes the hand and put it in water and call 991 if that's needed. So that's like, I mean, it's a really big difference, I would say. And for an example, as a nurse, if you, as I worked as a nurse before, you see somebody waiting in the ER rooms really upset because they have waited for a long time and are really in bad pain and so on. A person with sympathy sits down and say, oh yeah, this is really bad, and I feel like, yeah, I went through the same thing for a while ago, and it's really, I can really understand, relate to this. This is really awful. While somebody who's empathic instead goes into the nurse room and asks, can't we pray to this person? It seems like we've been waiting too long and there's really bad pain, and simply do something about it. But for a person sitting there in the waiting room, it might actually, I mean, of course it's better to get in to see the doctor earlier, but it might, in the moment, feel better with somebody who sits down and feel bad for them. And a person who are both sympathetic and empathic first could sit down and say, oh yeah, this really sucks, then go and make sure that they get to see the doctor earlier, and keep with both of them. And I'm mostly capable of a later one, which makes some people think like, why don't you feel bad for me? Don't you care about me? And I do. I care a lot. It is that I'm often the person in the group of friends. It's like I don't do it really intentionally, but I think I do it unintentionally. I step back a little bit and let people who are better to sit down and say, oh, this sucks and all that, take care of that while I go and ponder what to do about the situation. So when my friend had been had this, moment of cry and self-pity, they come to me and ask me, what can I do about it? And then I can help them out. And both of those things are needed, are important. I don't like when people say that empathy is the only thing that's matter, because it's not. Because you need to be able to show sympathy for people to notice that you are empathic. It's like at my work, when I've been working in preschools, there have been cases of children being in a situation that they shouldn't be involved in, and where we have to contact the social workers. And other people had been sit down with a child and said, "Oh yeah, this is really hard for you, and this I feel really bad for you," and all of that part. While I have been the one doing all the calls, and I am the person the child will step up to and say, "Oh, you took away my parents," or "You made me go to foster care, and you are awful," and so on. Even though I'm actually the person who made it possible for someone to save a child. I'm never the hero in somebody's eyes, but I'm always one doing the work in the background. And both are needed. But it's something I know I need to be better at showing sympathy. Not just being empathic, but also show that I really do feel and care, and not run off and try to fix everything immediately, which is my first reaction often, because that's how I am. I'm that with myself too. I have a good cry for 5 minutes when I do something about the situation, whatever it might be. But I need to be better at that, to stop in the moment and listen to the person who is in a bad situation. I need to be better at sitting down and say, "Yeah, this really sucks. This is really bad." And sometimes also just leave it there, to not try to fix it, not try to do anything about it. Let the person fix the situation himself. And that's really hard. I think it's also the mom side of me who wants to fix things, but I need to trust that people can fix things for themselves. But both my children and my friends and my parents even are capable of fixing things themselves. Sadly, a lot of people do count on me fixing things for them, but I think I need to be better to take a step back sometimes. So, yeah. But it's an interesting topic, I think. And, yeah, that's my thought about it. And now Ika's sleeping here outside me in the bathroom in the middle of it.